Hello tribe, Tom here back with another video. Just quick, I wanted to speak about a topic that is actually very relevant for my life right now. What does it feel like to be completely sober without having had a drip of alcohol for about 6 months now? I could divide this up to basically two narratives, but the short answer is I feel great. Simple and plain, just straightforward. I feel absolutely great and complete in a lot of ways. Then there are this other part of life, just in general. Everyone has sometimes a dread, sometimes you have like whatever anxiety or depression or some kind of life related problems, and they remain, of course. But if you, like me, to some extent was drinking too much, that it affected you and your well-being, and too much, obviously if you cut out alcohol like I did, it's going to have a dramatic difference in your life. Just the way I feel every day when I wake up in the morning, and every Saturday, Sunday, I just feel great every morning with waking up with energy. And I guess I can improve also having better routines and everything, but the fact that the alcohol is out of the equation makes obviously life much more bearable without having that, can I call it, that dreadful, I'm not talking necessarily about the hangovers of from hell. I'm talking about like that lingering hangover that can stay with you for days, to be honest. And that was something that I think the major positive impact of myself in my life is that those days when I feel not impacted by having been out after like a wild weekend, or I guess it has to do with age, because the older you get, I think if I compare it to my early 20s or late 20s even, it was like no problem going up to work. You just felt sometime hangover from the mother of all hangovers. I don't know, there's an expression. And that was like, it stayed with you for the whole day, and sometimes you couldn't even get out of bed, of course, if you had one of those bad ones. But most of the time it was like you wake up, you feel bad for a while, and you go on with your day. But the older I got, I noticed that there is this anxiety, and that everything seems so much of a problem, even things that necessarily are not a problem, that stayed with me for and affected me days. And I don't want, that's something that made me feel so. Last time I was drinking, last year, it's something that just, I was so tired of it, and I had been tired of it for a long time. That feeling that you just waste your days, like, is this life? Is life supposed to be this way? Giving you a little bit of a backstory on the way I was drinking. Obviously going out, drinking a lot and fast, that was my problem. The fact that it stays with you for a long period of time, and I have had no problems to have like moments, what should I call it, dry months and dry periods without a problem, and staying without drinking for a weekend or a month or 2 months. But obviously this is the longest I've ever stayed without drinking. If I think about it completely honestly, do I even need to drink ever again? And the short answer to that is no. I don't have any. I would lie if I say that I don't think about it. Sometimes I'm in an environment, or I go by a bar and I think about, or I tell my girlfriend, or like, oh, it would be so good to just sit here and drink some beers or stuff like that. But it's gone within seconds. It's not something that I act upon. It's more like a romanticizing the idea about drinking. Maybe that is a problem, I don't know. Although I don't feel any, I mean, attempt myself. I am in environments where other people drink. Before, when I was in environment, when I had my dry months, maybe it was a little bit more difficult. But now when I've been more of an extended period of time without drinking, I can go to people's homes, I go out to bars or whatever, and I know that I am not drinking, so it's no problem. And people, there's no people really in my life that are like, yeah, of course you're gonna do it, come on, have some, or push me like that. People respect what I do. I most likely will drink again. I have certain events coming up where I probably will. I just I don't see myself having any room in my life for going back to how I've been drinking before. I don't know how it's gonna be, but that's just like the internally how I feel, and that's most likely what will be also. I have behaved honestly terrible with drinking before, and I am grateful for having realized that, and now also having some distance to that past, I guess, and view it with so sober eyes. That is actually very healthy. I encourage anybody who do feel that you would like to take a break from drinking and feeling maybe hopeless or difficult to not. I mean, I can just tell you, if I could do it, you can do it without a problem. It's just that simple. I know many people say that, but I mean, the way I was drinking sometimes, and I know that I am not the worst of the worst or anything. I am not a bad person when I'm drinking. My problem is that I would drink too fast and obviously too much. But I do like beer, and I do like to drink, and I do like to drink beer again. I just don't like to drink the way I was drinking before, because I tell you how it made me feel. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's limiting yourself from your full potential. It sounds very cliche, but I just see that as a real waste of time to basically feel when is the next day coming so I can feel normal again. That is for me not the way to live. I am a person that would like to take care of every moment and appreciate every moment and appreciate the people in my life while we are here, you know. And just noticing how life slips away in the weeks, the days, the months, by behaving like that, and not the least to say how expensive it is just with a pint nowadays. I feel like there was a few more things that I wanted to say about this thing with drinking. I couldn't talk so much about drinking. I could talk about how my past was, how wild parts of my life have been with that. I have enjoyed anything from going out with friends, one person parties, just relax, you know. But I have noticed myself that I am also probably it sounds wrong to say that I am an extreme person, but I am very much of all in. And I think that I prove myself that also it's no problem for me to stay away from it. It's just that if and when I go back to drink again, I rather have a healthier perspective of how I'm doing that. So thank you for watching. See you around.